I never thought I'd recognize the sound of my own home turning against me. But that night, when the door slammed behind her, and the laughter spilled across the hallway like poison, I knew something had changed forever. It was close to midnight when she walked in. Her hair was a mess, her perfume clinging too strongly to the air, and her eyes were alive with a kind of reckless amusement that I had never seen directed at me. "You won't believe what happened tonight," she said, laughing as though she was sharing a private joke with the universe. I froze in the kitchen doorway, gripping the edge of the counter so hard my knuckles turned white. What do you mean?" My voice sounded strange to my own ears, tight, brittle, like it might shatter. She barely looked at me, flicking her hair over her shoulder. "Oh, just nothing important. Just fun." Her laughter bubbled again, louder this time, as if daring me to ask more. "Fun?" My heart skipped, then cracked. What are you talking about, Maria?" She glanced at me, eyes sparkling with something I didn't recognize. Something that wasn't love, not anymore. And then it came out, in that careless, unthinking way that makes betrayal sting like a physical blow. "You're never going to believe it, but it was amazing. I can't stop laughing about it." I felt the floor shift beneath me. My stomach turned cold. My voice, when it came, was quieter than I intended. "Amazing. Laughing about it." "Yes." Her voice rose now, carried by excitement, not remorse. "It's just, I don't know. It was one night, it doesn't mean anything." I closed my eyes, trying to process the words, the way they wrapped around me like ice. One night. One night with someone else, while I thought we were building a life together. While I thought we were safe. I had known cracks were forming. The late nights at work, the vague excuses, the way she'd stopped looking at me the way she used to. But denial is a warm blanket, and I had been wrapped up in it until that laughter ripped it away. "Who?" The question came out before I could stop it. She shrugged, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "Does it matter?" Honestly, it was nothing. "I'm home now, aren't I? Aren't you happy?" "Happy." The word lodged in my throat like a splinter. I could feel the weight of my own sanity teetering as the truth settled over me like dust. The woman I had married, the woman I had trusted with everything, had spent the night with someone else and now had the audacity to ask if I was happy she was back. "No," I said finally, voice low but steady, calm in a way that scared even me. "No, Maria. I'm not happy. Not with this. Not with you." Her smile faltered for a moment, curiosity flickering across her face. "Oh, come on. Don't be dramatic. It was just one night." "One night," I repeated, the words hollow, echoing around the empty spaces in our living room. "Just one night. And yet you come home laughing. You're proud of this." She opened her mouth, then closed it, her laughter dying out into something uncomfortable. I could see her calculating now, trying to find a way to spin this, to soften it. But there was no softening betrayal. "Maria," I said again, quieter this time, the kind of quiet that carries weight. "Get your things. I don't want you here anymore." Her face twisted, a mix of confusion and disbelief. "Wait, you're kicking me out?" "Yes." My voice didn't waver. "I trusted you. Believed in us. And now, can't. I won't live like this, pretending this is okay." The silence that followed was deafening. She looked at me, at the apartment we had built together, the home that was supposed to be our sanctuary, and then back at me as if seeing a stranger. Her eyes narrowed, searching for anger, for rage, but found only a quiet devastation she couldn't undo. "You can't do this," she said finally. "We can work it out. We always work things out." "No," I said, shaking my head. "Not this. Not after this. You think this is something we can fix with a talk, with promises. You don't get it. You don't get me. You never did." She laughed then, bitter, sharp, almost venomous this time. "You think you're so perfect, don't you? So righteous." I was bored. I wanted excitement. Something new. "Can't you understand that?" I felt the floor drop out beneath me again. The excuses, the rationalizations, they didn't matter. The betrayal was complete. She had made a choice. A conscious choice to shatter the life we had, and worse, to wear it as a badge of pride. "I do understand," I said quietly, my voice barely above a whisper. "I understand that I'm done. I understand that you don't love me the way I loved you. And I understand that I deserve better than this." She scoffed, gathering her jacket, her purse, her sense of self-importance bundled into a neat package she thought she could carry out the door. "Fine. Leave then. See if I care." I didn't move. I watched her walk to the door, her movements sharp, defiant. She looked back at me once, with a smile that should have been tender, but wasn't. And then she was gone. The apartment was suddenly enormous. Too quiet. I sank onto the couch, letting the weight of everything I had lost crush me. Not just her presence was gone, but the future I had imagined, the nights we had shared, the plans we had made. All of it had evaporated, leaving a hollow space filled with disbelief and heartbreak. I didn't cry right away. Shock makes you numb, a protective shield that dulls the pain until it becomes too sharp to ignore. I just sat there, staring at the door she had closed, trying to convince myself that I had not imagined the laughter, the pride, the betrayal. Hours later, when sleep refused to come, I wandered through the apartment. Her favorite mug still sat on the counter. The scent of her perfume lingered in the living room, faint but persistent like a ghost. I touched it, and it was like touching a memory, a life that had ended without warning. I found myself replaying everything, every detail. Every time I had ignored the signs, had brushed aside doubts, had convinced myself she would never do this. And the truth was unbearable. There were signs, always signs. I had chosen not to see them because seeing them meant accepting a reality I wasn't ready for. Days passed. I didn't reach out. I didn't answer her texts or calls. Each message from her, each pleading, each apology, only reminded me that the person I loved was gone, replaced by someone I didn't know and couldn't forgive. Friends tried to reach me. "You should talk to her," they said. "Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe you two can work through this." But how could I work through something that wasn't a mistake? How could I rebuild trust with someone who laughed in the aftermath of betrayal? The thought made me nauseous. I began to change small things in the apartment, removing traces of her presence. Photographs, gifts, items that carried memories, were packed away or donated. Each action was painful, like peeling away layers of skin, but necessary. I had to reclaim my life from the wreckage she left behind. Weeks later, I walked through the city alone, noticing things I hadn't before. The quiet cafes, the laughter of strangers, the sunlight filtering through the buildings. Life continued outside the walls of my broken home, indifferent to my heartbreak. And slowly I realized I had to continue to. I wasn't okay. Not yet. But I was free. Free from the weight of betrayal, from the false intimacy, from the woman who had chosen excitement over love, pride over loyalty. I had loved her deeply, and in doing so, had allowed myself to be hurt in ways I hadn't imagined. But I survived. I would heal. And one day when I was ready, I would love again. Not blindly, not foolishly, not without boundaries. I would love with eyes open, with heart guarded but open, knowing the depth of pain, but also the depth of resilience. That night, I stood on the balcony, the city lights stretching endlessly below me, and for the first time in weeks, I breathed. I didn't feel triumph, or vengeance, or even joy. Felt clarity. I had survived the storm she had brought into my life. And though the apartment was silent, though the laughter that had poisoned me was gone, I felt something stir. A quiet, unshakable certainty that I would rise from this, stronger and wiser. Maria was gone, and with her went the life I thought I knew. But in the empty spaces she left behind, I found myself. And that was enough for now.